Thank you for joining me today. Welcome to Home in the Making. Today I wanted to talk about decision making and continuing. So there's probably moments in all of our lives where we wish we would have maybe been a little more patient, or in a circumstance maybe wish we would have taken our emotion out of the way we responded to something. And then there's moments where we experience God and think, man, I can never fall. I have seen God, I have heard God, I have had such good God time. I am going to be perfect. So I wanted to talk to you about two different scriptures today that's kind of like the before and the after. So the before comes from 1 Corinthians 10, and I studied this chapter a week ago, and I don't think I had ever really read it before. It talks about the Israelites and how they were an example to us from not falling, basically. So they experienced God. They were led by a cloud. They were given everything they needed from God, and yet they still fell. They still fell into sin. And so Paul kind of writes that as, hey, this is an example for us to follow. And it flows into how the temptations of life are no different than they are now. And I will get my notes from that study and share with you that scripture, because I want to read just the end of it that was really, really good. Let's see. I'm on page over. Okay, here it is. So it says, if you think you are standing strong, be careful not to fall. We all experience temptation. God can show us a way out so that we might endure. So, if you think you're going strong, if you think, man, that God time was awesome, and I'm never gonna fall, I'm never gonna sin again, be careful, be vigilant, be watchful, because we can fall, and we need to be humble in that and realize, man, God is so great. He is with us, and He can show us a way out so that we can endure. And then I'm going to share another passage with you today that comes from Hebrews 4. It says, so then, since we have a great high priest who has entered heaven, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold firmly to what we believe. The high priest of ours understands our weaknesses, for he faced all the same testings we do, yet he did not sin. So let us come boldly to the throne of our gracious God. There we will receive his mercy, and we will find grace to help us when we need it most. That is so reassuring, isn't it? That God can give us a way out to endure from temptation, and that He experienced all the same temptations that we do, yet did not sin. So I just encourage us, wherever you are, whether you realize, man, I have some things to confess, or I should have handled that situation a little better. Or maybe you're in the place of, man, I feel so strong, and there's no way I can fall. Let's be humble, and let's continue to practice these things with God. And let's continue to practice these things as Christian women and women of the Word. And when we do fall, may we find hope in that God is with us and He can give us a way out. And there's one last verse I want to share with you that might give you hope if you need it. It is James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. So if you are at your end's wit and you have nowhere to turn and you don't know what to do, and you're tired of maybe acting the way you do, or a tendency that you have, I hope you can turn to James 1:5 and ask God for wisdom, how you may be better, how you may handle a situation better, how you can grow in Him.